Hi, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to dive into the world of extensions, a powerful feature in Swift that lets you make your code more organized and readable, and add new functionality to a class that you didn't create or own. If you're ready to get started, then stay tuned. Let's learn together. Alright, so here we are in our brand new Xcode project. Now, for extensions, we are only going to be working with the functionality of the Swift language itself, not necessarily dealing with any UI. So let's go ahead and let's clear out our view that we've got here. And now that's going to cause a build warning because content view doesn't exist anymore. So we'll come over here and we will swap our content view just for an empty string. If you're like me and you created an iOS app just out of habit, and so now that we've got that set up and out of the way, we are ready to come over here and we want to just import playgrounds for now. So we're going to build a playground, and to do that we'll use the new playground macro. Very cool. All right, now what is an extension? An extension is something that allows you to add extra functionality to a class or an object or a type that you may or may not own. And it actually doesn't matter with extensions if you own it or not. You can add an extension to pretty much anything. So for example, one thing that I always love adding to a project is adding an isBlank check to a string. Now if we have a string here and we say that our string is myString, and sure, hello world is a great first string. So in the string type, we get a lot of basic functionality built in. For example, if we print myString, we can check if myString is empty, or we can check the count of myString. And doing that tells us how many characters are in there. Just like isEmpty lets us know if the string is empty or not. But one thing we use for a lot in validation, especially in other languages such as like Kotlin or Ruby or something like that, is an isBlank check. Now isBlank will remove any white space or new lines and also let us know, like, after those have been removed, is this string empty? Now we could do something very similar in Swift. We could say that we want myString.trimming characters in, and we could tell it to trim the characters of white spaces and new lines, and then we could also check if it is empty. But doing this all over your code base can be cumbersome and isn't very readable. Like, it's not immediately clear what's going on with our print statement here without taking some time to actually look at it and process it really well. So one thing that we can do with that is we can export that. So we can create an extension, and our extension can be for a string. And our extension, I want to call mine isBlank. And this isBlank check will return a Boolean value. And in order to do this, we want to access the object that we are passing in. And then we are going to do the same thing that we did up here. And we're just going to cut our code out of there and paste it here. Cool. And so now in myString, instead of checking that we're trimming the characters in the white spaces and new lines and if it is empty, instead of doing all of that, we can just say myString is blank. And now we can see that our string is not blank. And this is a lot more readable. It's very quick and easy to understand. And this is one of the big benefits of actually creating extensions in Swift. So now, in order to test this out, we could just look at it and we could say, okay, yes, this is clearly not blank. Or we could get rid of all the text, and yes, it is definitely blank now. But as I said earlier, we want to check that if it's blank with empty strings, and it is blank with empty strings. We also want to check if it's blank if there's just a new line entered. And as you can see, even with a new line entered, it's still showing that our string is blank. Now this is just one example of what you can do in the world of extensions, and we'll go over more in future videos. And with that, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And if you leave a comment, just be nice about it. That's all I ask. Thanks. Have a great day.